podcast with Jay. He is currently the Devoe Program Director at the Leadership Council for Nonprofits, where he prepares current and future nonprofit board members to become effective and mission-driven. Now, Jay, I know you have about a commitment of 30 years to nonprofit service.
Proud to say yes.
Yes, that's great. And you have served formerly as the board chair of Big Brothers, Big Sisters.
Yep. Probably.
And Planned Parenthood, Southwest Ohio.
Probably.
And you have held several leadership positions, Pro Kids and Caracol. And
been on the boards, yeah.
Been on boards. And you are a Emmy Award-winning journalist.
And Devoe, we got to dust off those Emmys. They were a long time ago. I'm very proud of them. Very proud.
Yeah, so I was wondering, how did that shape the way you approach like nonprofit leadership and crisis communication?
Well, I learned very quickly that good nonprofit leaders are good storytellers. There's more pressure now than ever to be able to get your message across in your words, get your organization's facts center stage, and that's a lot tougher to do today. There was no Instagram or emails or internet even when I was reporting, so the pressure is on now more than ever to be a good storyteller, to be a good leader, and to get your message in front quickly.
Wow, and I can see why you're the Devoe Program Director. It makes sense. So can you tell us a little bit about BOLD and how did you get to become the program director?
Well, BOLD stands for Board Orientation and Leadership Development. And our mission is simple. We want to recruit, we want to train and activate the next generation of nonprofit leaders. And I'm looking at you. It's not me, it's you. And for those who are currently on boards, we want to help train nonprofit board members to serve more effectively. The big problem is that most nonprofit board members look like me. A white guy, 60 and over, we dominate nonprofit boards. And one of our goals is to make sure our nonprofit boards look like the communities they serve. More women, more people of color, more younger demographic, and also people who have had life experiences. If you've experienced homelessness, you're going to bring a lot to a nonprofit table. If you've been subject to abuse, if you've had addiction issues or grown up in a family with that, you bring a lot of different skills to the board table. So recruit and train, and then we match up people with the right nonprofits.
Wow, that's amazing work that you guys are doing. So are you all teaching leaders how to have those difficult conversations? Because I'm sure those type of things can be a little bit uncomfortable.
We are very realistic in our training, and it's not a Hallmark card. It's easily could be construed as that, but serving on a nonprofit board effectively means facing challenges, facing difficult conversations, and also nonprofit boards have one person they're responsible for supervising, and that's the CEO and the ED. So it's not just difficult conversations, but it's difficult situations as we're helping nonprofit CEOs navigate all the stuff that's going on. I was going to say crap that's going on, but stuff
are
both are true.
They both. Two things can definitely be true at the same time. So can you tell us a little bit, I know you touched on the roles a little bit, can you touch on that a little bit more about how the different roles play in nonprofit? Because I know there's a treasurer, secretary, etc.
Well, first thing is to understand it's very much church and state. There's a thick line between nonprofit staff and a nonprofit board. and you don't cross that line. And the nonprofit board is there to help support. The nonprofit board has legal functions. The state and the federal government require that boards are there to review budgets, to review performance of the executive director. So those are two very different roles. And a good nonprofit board has kind of a smorgasbord of skills that they're bringing to the table to help the nonprofit. And so really one of the keys is in strategic planning. Where is a nonprofit going to go? Are they carrying out their mission? How are they carrying out their mission? And especially these days, how are you reacting to the stuff going on? And does that change what you do and how you do it?
Yeah, and that leads me to my next point of asking, could you be on the board and also be a staff member? How does that work? No, you cannot.
No.
So you can't serve two positions.
Now, we have staff members who go through the program to help understand how a board should be working. So when a board member ignores their email, they come to our program to learn that's not good.
Yeah.
It's not your fault. It's a board member's fault. So no, there'd be a definite conflict.
Got it. And what happens when there's like a crisis, like in a nonprofit? Do staff go to a certain person, or does the nonprofit members go to a certain person, or like who is?
Great question.
Who do we go to? Who do we run to?
Well, first and foremost, staff is dealing with their supervisor, the CEO or the ED. Staff should never go directly to a board member unless the CEO or ED is aware of that communication, and you're always copying the CEO. A board member, conversely, should not be dealing directly with staff unless the CEO approves it and is aware of it. The only exception is that if there is trouble behind the scenes, if there's theft, if there's something going on with performance, if that comes to a board, there is a process for how a board reacts to it.
Got it. And I'm glad you said that, because you gave a lot of insight on that, because I know there's a lot of people who don't know how a board even functions, the structure of it.
Right.
Like even with, like, is there certain times board's supposed to meet every year, different things like that.
Right.
So I wonder if you can touch on that, like the logistics side of things.
Sure. So there is a framework the state and the federal government set up. We're not talking about doing a good deed, your uncle picking up stray cats in his car. These are nonprofits who are getting federal status, state status. So as a result of that, sorry, I thought I turned down. They're getting status from the government. So to do that and to keep that, you have to meet a certain number of times. You have to keep records. You're filing reports. A 1099, I'm not going to go into all of them, is pretty common online, but lots of ways online that a nonprofit has to report to make sure it's serving the community, because a for-profit serves a nonprofit serves the community.
Yeah, in which the nonprofit board members are volunteers.
Nonprofit board are volunteers. Good nonprofits have term limits. Good nonprofits have very clear distinction of what a nonprofit board member's role is.
So you touched on the word good, nonprofit. Is there a bad side to how nonprofit
Sure.
is?
Well, I'll talk about nonprofit board members.
Okay.
Definition of a good board member is one who, first of all, and this is where this discussion about being on a nonprofit board always starts, which is you're passionate about the cause.
Yeah.
And so what are you passionate about?
I'm passionate about the environment, social justice, advocacy.
Okay. And that's probably, I would imagine,
when
we've talked what drives you in this role.
Yes.
I'm passionate about reproductive health care, about mentoring, about making sure all kids live up to their potential. So the first place you start to be a good nonprofit board member is passion and connecting to that. And people who come into our program are a mix. Some know exactly what they want to do. Others have some ideas, others don't. And then you're passionate. Number two, you know what the organization is all about. What are they doing? How are they doing? What's the budget? Where's the money coming from? So you're well informed. You don't have to be an accountant to understand budget, but you do have to look at numbers and go, hey, wait a second, what about this? And finally, you are responsive. If you're being asked by a nonprofit to do something, you're responsive. A bad board member, I can tell you it's universal across the line, from board chairs and EDs and CEOs. You don't answer your emails. You don't answer your voicemail. You don't show up to board meetings. You're not engaged. And I won't say who, but one of the CEOs of the largest nonprofits has told me he knows when a board member has read the agenda in their car in the parking lot before the board meeting, as opposed to going through it and understanding what's going on.
Wow.
And I just want to add, there's no guilt in walking away. So or not starting to begin with. So if you've just had a kid or you just got a promotion and you're traveling, not good times to serve on a nonprofit board.
And you ran Bold for 5 years, correct?
I still have another 2 months ago before I hit if I can make it to 5 years.
I'm sure he will.
Thank you.
He'll make
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So what type of folks are you looking for to enroll into Bold?
Well, thank you for that. So we are enrolling right now for our fall cohort, starts September 10th. We're looking for people who want to make a difference. I mean, these are tough times.
Yes.
I imagine you and I, since we have spoken, I've gotten to know you. I'm sure the smoke comes out of your head every morning, like mine, when you read the headlines.
Yes.
And you see what's going on. So we're looking for people who want to make a difference, who want to be involved and help nonprofits navigate what is a crisis. People are still hungry. Kids still need to be mentored.
Yes.
Women need access to reproductive health care. We need our arts to keep educating and fulfilling lives. I mean, none of that has changed. What has changed is the crisis, and I don't know if you want to talk about it now, but it's a crisis. I had a nonprofit CEO a few weeks ago tell me this is worse than COVID. And the difference is COVID, there was a common enemy. This, not only is that not the case, but nonprofits are being demonized. There's a level of suspicion that nonprofits are gaming the system or getting money and wasting it or not being effective. And that's a really dangerous discussion. And the other crisis is uncertainty. Money is being cut and we don't know how it's going to be replaced. Those are all things. So I think there was a long way of answering your question in terms of what we're looking for. We want people who are passionate about making a difference and will make this a priority, that when they look on their Outlook calendar and they see a nonprofit board meeting or a committee meeting, they don't roll their eyes, they smile. That here's a chance to make a difference.
And from the 4-week program that starts September 10th, what could folks expect during that 4-week process?
Great question. In the 4 weeks, each session covers a particular topic. The first session, we go through building the box, the basics. What is a nonprofit? What is a nonprofit board? And we hear from people who serve and hear from leaders. We cover all of that, and that's foundational work. The second session is all about the new reality, how board members deal with the new world. This is not a political discussion. It easily could become a political discussion. You and I know that, but this is not.
Yeah.
This is about being a board member, being fact-based. What is the new reality? Not a lot of laws have changed. We've had a lot of executive orders.
Yes.
But
A lot.
what is the new reality? Can we keep doing the work that the nonprofit wants to do? And if we're going to do that, how do we do it? The third session is called Loud, Proud, and Bold. It's my favorite one, no surprise. It's all about good fundraisers are good storytellers. So it's how to raise money, which
Yes.
is the least favorite part about being on a nonprofit board.
Yes.
We got to do it. We got to ask
do
for
it.
money. And what the session really focuses on is the partnership with staff,
Yeah.
and how you really almost never have to actually ask, but you do have to turn your contacts over. You need to help work your contact list. And kind of looping back to your first questions, learning how to tell your nonprofit story in your voice. You're too young to remember the days when we called it elevator pitches, but it's appropriate. How can you talk about your nonprofit you love in under a minute or 2 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Could you?
Yeah. Community Shares of Greater Cincinnati. We help co-create, curate, connect, and collaborate with 55 plus social justice members to build capacity.
There you go. And so learning to do that in your voice is critical.
It is, and it does take practice. It takes time. Like I know for me, I had to figure out what, and you see the wording, but when you actually do the work, you come up with and that's the concept that I came up with. So that's why so many different alliterations with the C's,
Right.
Because that's literally what we're doing. We're co-creating. And when I say co-creating, that means we're not just saying, hey, we're going to conduct this event and create it because we feel like this should be done. No, what I did was I went to our members and said, hey, what do you want?
Nice.
What is your vision? Okay, this is your vision. Let's plan it, implement it, and then I'll do the execution of it. And then we talk about, curating the event and how it's supposed to look. So when we're doing like a coffee and collaboration, we're doing multiple activations. Like we have this large board. It's an ask and offer board. So people get to put on there, hey, I need 10 volunteers. Somebody may say, oh, I can make an offer. I have 10 volunteers in my database.
Right.
So it makes the
collaboration.
There it is. So we do multiple things to ensure that we're not only building a social and economic equity environment, but we're doing it so that way members can feel at home when they're here.
And clearly you're comfortable with that language.
Yes.
And I imagine you've probably, that you woven in personal reflections, which, for some people is difficult to do. I can give you the facts, that's my life, but adding the emotion of why, and, quite frankly, I'm a gay guy with no kids, and my personal experience with Planned Parenthood is very limited, as opposed to being, I was big brother, my little brother is 34 years old. So I've really had to work at how do I personally talk about Planned Parenthood, which for me is a social justice issue, and also dealing with hunger and poverty. We know fact-based sexual education has an impact, and being able to have access to reproductive health care helps women work and stay off public assistance and stay in the workplace. So finding ways, it's taken me a long time to develop that voice, and we encourage our students in our third session to take some time to develop that. And finally, the fourth session is in conjunction with the Holocaust and Humanities Center. They do something called the Upstander Awards, where they highlight, and it's drawn from individuals who helped those who were victims of the Holocaust survive and resettle here in Cincinnati. And the reality is each of us have the ability to be an upstander. Bringing our strengths, our character strengths, to the table, the board table, to the community, and making a difference. And, you know, a whole bunch of us, hundreds, thousands of us doing that is what it's going to take to get out of this mess.
Yes, it is. And I was an upstander too. I got nominated for that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's great. The kids did. I love that.
Oh yeah,
that's great.
So social justice is truly is like burning within my soul. So I definitely appreciate you for acknowledging that.
Well, I want to interrupt you. So
yes.
The difference here, it's not just burning in your soul.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing something about it.
Yeah.
So that's the difference,
That's the
is activating those strengths so that it's not just ruminating in your head. It's not just filling your heart, where you are getting your hands dirty and making things happen.
Yeah, and that's what we do in Cincinnati. We roll up our sleeves and we get the work done.
Generally, yes.
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 All right, so you are ready for a lightning round?
I'm not sure you ever can be ready for a lightning round, but I am.
Alrighty. So we are going to go ahead and get started with that. If you don't answer within 5 seconds, you will hear that. So hopefully we do not. So you got 5 seconds to answer each question. All right, here we go. Skyline, chili, or Gold Star?
I'm from Chicago. I've had beans in my chili my whole life, but I'm going to say Skyline.
Skyline. All right. Coffee or tea?
Oh, coffee. My goodness.
There it is. All right. Reds or Bengals?
Reds, I don't think the Bengals are involved in our community enough. How's that for an answer?
Oh, man. Favorite Cincinnati neighborhood?
I'm on the Amberley Village Council in my third term, so Amberley, Ohio.
Amberley, Ohio. All right. Favorite Cincinnati hidden gem?
I would say you and I both are going to have our phones taken away.
I know, right?
Favorite gem is Nine Giant. It's a small neighborhood brewery and bar in Pleasant Ridge.
Wow. Never heard of it.
Great. You never heard of it? We'll meet there. Ridge in Montgomery. Great Cincinnati neighborhood restaurant.
Alrighty. All right. It's a date. One Cincinnati nonprofit everyone should know about.
I had to pick one.
Heard the buzzer.
I was leadership council for nonprofits. That's the name on my paycheck. But any nonprofit.
Yeah,
sorry.
There it is. No, you're fine. Finish the sentence. Leadership is
passion.
There it is. All right. One word that defines great leadership.
Love.
Love it. Who are you calling during a crisis?
My friend Kathy Liss. She is the former CEO of Big Brothers. I was on the committee that hired her, and she served 32 years.
Wow. Amazing.
She knows everything.
She knows everything. You heard that? Well, we
You
have
heard
to
that.
get you on the podcast. All right. Who are 3 words that build trust?
I am listening.
I love that. What's your communication preference? Email, phone call, or face-to-face?
Face-to-face.
Face-to-face. Figured that.
Because I'll misspell the stuff in the email.
Biggest communication mistake?
Distraction.
I thought you were going to say not reading emails.
Not reading it. Right.
Yeah, that would be a good one. Yeah.
That would be distraction.
Yeah, it would be. Best leadership book?
You stumped me on that. The best leadership book.
Yeah, it happens.
Covey, Stephen Covey's got several, but those seem like a cliche.
Yeah.
I'm going to get back to you on that. And
no, it's fine.
When you post.
That's your homework.
Thank you.
One habit every nonprofit leader should develop.
Meditating.
Great. So get ready to
get grounded to reality.
There it is. Well, Jay, we appreciate you for coming on
Thank
the
you.
podcast. This was really good.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. I don't know what that was.
That was perfectly timed. This is great, and thank you to Community Shares for what you all do in the community and supporting smaller nonprofits who
Yeah.
are playing a critical role.
Yeah, it's our job and our responsibility, and it's 30 years of dedicated service and commitment to service and social justice members. So we're continuing to grow. We're now at 55 plus members. So
Thanks.
yeah, let's
And
keep the train moving.
if you have a chance to look at the list of the 55, it's touching every corner of life in the
Yes.
tri-state.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's the end.
Awesome.
And we'll see y'all soon. All right. Good job, Jay.